Any question you would like to ask?
Yes, Master, when I was carrying my sweets to bless them, the local people said, "Oh, Master is putting drishti in the sweet. Is drishti similar to darshan?"
Drishti is an Hindi word just to look at.
Oh, that was the same as darshan.
With love and devotion. Darshan is by a disciple. When master looks at anybody, they call it drishti.
Thank you.
Maharaji,
Yes.
I read through spiritual letters, and as you said, I couldn't find the passage that I was looking for, but I did find another point I'd like you to clarify in Babaji's advice to Great Master. I want to know if it can apply to us, and also if you could clarify the meaning of two parts. Put your body, mind, wealth, hearing faculty, and seeing faculty before the Guru, and do not have the least claim to them. Watch for his commands. Whatever he orders, put it in your mind and act upon it. Even if he asks you to cut grass, think it to be the greatest honor. Cheerfully accept whatever he says and constantly keep testing your mind. Then success is yours. Particularly the 2 points I'd like you to comment on are watch for his commands, and I'm wondering if, without having achieved the radiant form, if it's possible for us to...
How do you know that great master has not...
No, I'm sure that he probably had. But if we try to apply the letter to ourselves...
As I wrote before in the preface, these letters are meant for the particular great master, from one master to another master, who was in the making. You can't generalize these letters. They are particular letters for a particular soul. You can make use of those letters. They will fill you with love and devotion. The idea behind all that is complete surrender to the master. And without meditation, you cannot make any surrender to the master.
Then there's no... Can we test our minds, or is that I guess... This other sentence I was wondering about is constantly test your mind. Well, can we constantly test our minds, or have we...
How would you test your mind?
Well, I'm afraid that
Which is the instrument you have to test your own mind? Because your mind will be testing your mind.
I thought maybe higher mind against lower mind. No.
First you mind your own. Now mind is not your own. Mind is possessing you. When you will possess the mind, then you don't have even to test the mind. Now mind is possessing you. So we have to see that we possess the mind. Then we can surrender to the master. We can only surrender to someone who but belongs to me. Which doesn't belong to me, how can I surrender to anybody? We say we want to live in the will of the master. But now we are living in the will of the mind. First let us make our mind own. Then only we are in a position to live in the will of the master, the will of the Lord. Now we are all living in the will of the mind. So unless we are able to surrender the mind, how can we are able to live in the will of the master, the will of the Lord? This comes at a stage when you go beyond the realm of mind and Maya. Then soul dominates the mind. Where Christ said, you have come unto me and I have come unto you. That is merging back into the master, becoming one with the master. That is a complete surrender to the master. Losing your own identity in the Shabad. Come unto me means Shabad. You have come unto me and I have come unto you. And you have merged into the Shabad and Shabad has merged into you. You become part and parcel of the Shabad. It is not the body of the Christ in which you have to merge. Body cannot enter the body of a Christ. He's talking about the radiant form within, which is nothing but Shabad. So we have to merge in that Shabad. We have to become part and parcel of that Shabad. That is complete surrender. Where you don't exist, only he exists.
There's one other short passage. Earlier in the book, I think it's page 44, 56, Great Master writes to Babaji that he received Charan Amrit 3 times from Mataji, who gave him darshan 3 times. Can you explain what Charan Amrit is? I don't.
Charanamrit means you see that blessed water.
Was it that? That's all it was. Is out
Blessed water.
So-
Blessed water.
He drank it.
He drank it.
I see. Thank you.
Yes.
Maharaji, I have a question about, like Mr. Sethi was talking about doing meditation without expecting any results. And my question is, sometimes I experience that longing and that separation, and usually I experience that longing for your darshan. I guess what I'm wondering is, there's a part of me that's longing to have that inside, to experience that form that is always there.
The question is not very clear, sister.
I'm trying to make it clear. It's something about, there's that part of me that wants to have that inside, and so it seems like that's expecting some results from meditation.
Sister, the question is the result will automatically come. If your mind is always in meditation expecting result, then mind doesn't concentrate.
So
Mind should be 100% with you. It should not be allowed to think anything at all. Then it is complete concentration. If it is expecting the result, if it is feeling excited to see something, it means it's not 100% in concentration. Part of it is somewhere else. So it means the concentration is not complete. From that point of view, you say, don't think about anything at all. What has to come will automatically come.
okay.
We have to be 100% in Simran. Mind has to be brought back 100% in Simran. Not a friction of it should be allowed to go out, go astray.
Okay. And one other thing. Do you think it's possible to still function in the world if someone gets some of that experience inside? I mean, when we have our karma.
Sister, without mind, nobody can function in this world. It is the mind which is functioning in this world. It is not the soul. Left to soul will not stay for 2 minutes in this creation. Soul is not the less, soul is the least interested in this creation. Soul is only interested in the Creator. This is the mind which is functioning through us. So mind is very essential for us to live in this creation. Otherwise we will not discharge our obligation, our duties, our responsibilities. Nobody will be here without mind. This is the mind that you see such a big creation. Because soul is not interested in this creation. Soul is only interested in the Creator. But soul is just helpless. So we have to make our mind a friend, good friend, disciplined mind, noble mind, controlled mind, positive approach of the mind. We can't crush the mind. You can't get rid of the mind. Nobody can exist even for a minute without the mind in the body.
Thank you.
Master, I'm not sure if you've answered the question or not that I had. And talking about the mind, sometimes my mind wants to be very, very strict.
Very, very
Very strict.
straight.
Strict. It tells me don't do this and don't do that. And it wants to be very, very strict. And then another part of it says, no, that's not living a normal life. That's not doing what you want. Sometimes I think that the strictness comes from the master. Is that not true?
No, it's a higher mind. Call it conscience.
So then that should be followed rather than...
That is for you to decide. You see, we have always a higher mind to guide us within. Even when we are going to do something wrong, something within us tells us it is wrong. And one who tells us it is wrong is also your mind. Call it your conscience, call it your higher mind, noble mind, better part of the mind. That is also mind.
Well, if it's telling you one thing, it's saying that you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, but then another part is saying, but that's going too far.
Yes. That is the problem.
Yes.
It pulls us downward and it accuses us also. Now, why are you slave of the senses? Why did you do this?
Yeah, because then you feel guilty.
Yes, it makes you feel guilty also. But all this is mind, not soul.
But we just have to keep doing that. Right?
Soul is only interested in the Creator, Lord.
Master, how can I be compassionate and still be detached?
Sister, is not something you can do yourself. It automatically comes when you are attached to something higher. When you are attached to something higher, Shabad and Naam within, automatically you will get detached from everything else. You don't have to fight to detach yourself from one and other and other and other. You have to take a positive step to attach yourself to something better.
Thank you, Master.
Master, I just heard you say that you should take a positive approach. The mind should take a positive approach to life. Well, I don't know if you said life, but that the mind should take a positive approach. And I'm really confused about that because do you really have a choice of how you think and your approach to life? Or is that like a predestined thing? Do you come in with that?
Whatever limited limited approach you have, that you have to make use.
Well, say like you're having a really bad day or a bad month and...
It is within your decision to sit or stand now.
So you do have a choice.
You have. You are sitting now, you are up now, you can sit again.
So then when those bad days and those dark clouds come, you can actually talk, or your approach towards it can be positive. That's not just something that you...
Sister, it is not absolute free will. It's a conditioned free will, limited free will. From a higher scale, there is no free will. From a limited scale, we have free will. Higher scale, you have no choice to be the part of this creation. You were not consulted when you were pushed down to this creation. You have no choice. We are here because He wanted us to be here. We were never consulted. Then it is not in our hand to choose our parents, our brothers, sisters, environments, atmosphere, our educational institution through which we have gone through, our country, our nation, our friends. They go all the way to condition our mind to think in certain direction. And automatically we start thinking and acting in that direction. If you look from above, you have no choice. Now, if you look down, just as a birth, you have choice.
So, so your approach to life doesn't necessarily have to be like, a lot of times being on the path, I feel that I have not a lot of interest in things. Not that it just seems to be that way. Like, I don't get that excited about anything. And life,
What is there to feel excited about?
well, I guess not much. That's what I'm trying to say.
Then you're lucky you are. You do your duty, discharge your responsibilities, look after yourself, keep your destination before you, and try to achieve it. And discharge your responsibilities.
Thank you, Master.
Yeah.
Maharaji, how much of Sant can be explained by the Master to us at this level? How much can the mind understand of the real path within?
Brother, we are only explained that much which we can digest, which we can understand. Not something which is beyond our understanding.
So when we one day do go inside, will it be perhaps completely different to what we might conceive of with the mind? It might be completely different to what the Master can explain to us at this level.
Only which can be understood.
Thank you, Radha.
Master, I was wondering what role the soul had in, I don't know exactly, but the role the soul had, it seems so passive and helpless. I wondered, is it in tune with the Creator? I know the mind covers it, and, when there's, less karma, releases the soul. But does the soul play any active part for us?
Which part?
Yeah. I don't know. I was wondering.
You see, soul is only imprisoned in the flesh. Soul is shifting from flesh to flesh, from house to house, due to the mind. Mind collects karma, so soul has to shift from house to house. When the soul becomes the master, then it doesn't have to shift from house to house. Now karmas have become our master, and we have become the slave. So slave has no option but to obey the master. So master makes us shift from flesh to flesh and house to house.
Does soul give you desire to become close to the Lord, or is that mind?
To begin with, mind. I said soul is always yearning to go back to the Father. But it's just helpless. Even mind is not very happy in this creation. Mind is trying to seek happiness in this creation. But the more it tries to seek happiness, the more frustrated and unhappy and miserable it becomes. That is why there is no permanent happiness in anything in this creation. They are all short-lived. They are all temporary.
So when we meditate, like the desire to sit and meditate and go in, could that be a pull from the soul, or we're not really in touch with our...
You see, the grace is the Lord. Actually, this is the mind which is being pushed towards its own destination now. Because unless mind comes to its own destination, soul cannot get released from the mind. I gave an example. The needle is always attracted by the magnet.
Right.
You leave the needle, it will be at once attracted by the magnet. But if there is a weight over it, needle is helpless. Whether it's a little stone or whether it's a big boulder, it is the same thing for the needle.
So in our state of consciousness, we're not really aware of our souls. We're more just...
Our main fight is with the mind. not with the soul. Soul cannot be killed. Soul is immortal.
And then we will become pure soul
Yes.
in the higher regions.
Christ said, go, ye have become whole. When the soul leaves the mind, then it becomes whole. Now the soul is not whole, it's imperfect. Mind is dominating. When it becomes perfect, then it becomes whole. Where you say, know thyself, then we know ourselves. He said, sin no more, lest a worse thing can come unto thee. Now you have become whole, now you are in the process of becoming whole, actually, Christ said. There's something wrong in the translations from one language to another language. Now, Christ must have put the disciple on the path. He says, now I have put you on the path to become whole. But sin no more. Don't add more to your karmas. Whatever you have collected, if you'll follow this path, you'll become whole. But don't add more to your karma. Other thing, worse thing can come unto thee. Then again you will have to take birth. Again you will have to come to this creation. That is the worst thing can come to us.
So you could actually become whole in this body through meditation and feel the energy of the soul through being in touch with the Shabad.
Shabad makes us whole.
Right. Okay, and that's part of soul, that joining with Shabad. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Hello. I want very much to know God. I'm a seeker, and I don't really know what to do.
I think you were today in the meeting? Seekers meeting?
Yesterday I was, yes.
Today, it was today or yesterday? Seekers meeting.
Yesterday. I was in a meeting yesterday. I wasn't in one today.
I see. You see, I advise seekers that they should try to read as much as they can. They should try to understand the teachings. They should not be influenced by one another. They must have their own individual convictions, what they are going to do. Whether they should give themselves sufficient time to know whether they'll be able to follow the path or not. And must respond to the pull from within. Until that is there, you should try to investigate as much as you want to. You are not wasting your time, you are building on a rock. Christ said, if you build on a sand, the house will fall. If you build on a rock, it's always strong.
Thank you.
Master, may I ask you a question for somebody else?
Yes.
A person wants to know what is mind exactly, because mind is such an English word.
Mind is an English word because English philosophers have recognized it. German philosophers and some other Greek philosophers probably don't recognize this word at all. They think lower consciousness is the mind, higher consciousness is the soul. But mind is a separate entity itself. So mind is mind. What do you want to know about mind? We had a great difficulty when we were translating books in Germany because we couldn't find a word, the translation of the word mind.
And in Dutch?
Probably Dutch may be the same problem. I don't know. But I advise them keep the same word. Why should we try to find a word in their language which may mean something different? But we can introduce a word in their language. I don't know what they did. The mind has a separate entity.
Then I want to ask you something.
See, there is something which is attaching us to the creation. There is something which is not happy with the creation, always trying to go back to Father. The soul is different than the mind. Soul is immortal. Christ recognized the word mind and the soul. He said soul is immortal. Christ has said Shaitan, get away Shaitan. And we call it mind. Perhaps the word mind is not in the Bible. The word Shaitan is there. It means Shaitan is something different than the soul. He said nobody can kill your soul.
Then I want to ask you something for myself. We all know the English expression to make up one's mind. If we do not know what to decide, we say make up your mind. But if a master uses that expression, if he says you have to make up your mind, then it gets quite a different meaning.
What?
It gets a different meaning, is that correct?
No, same meaning.
He doesn't mean finish with mind, make up your mind, finish up with mind?
No. He means make up your mind. Decide with your mind. You see, as I explained yesterday, soul is not interested in the creation. Soul is only interested in the Creator. It is the mind which has a relationship with everyone in this creation. It is the mind which is attaching us to this creation. It is the mind which is taking all these decisions every day. So we have to make up our mind to decide. Soul doesn't make up the mind to decide. Your maybe noble mind, higher mind, good mind, friendly mind, but it's still all the same, it's a mind.
Thank you.
Master, when we hear and we see, who is that hears and sees? Isn't it the soul? Since it's the only real thing that exists?
Soul, sister, really exists, but when you see your mind and soul are knotted together, soul is also there. But unless mind sees, soul cannot see.
Through the mind, let's say.
Through the mind. Soul is very happy to see, but it sees through the mind.
Thank you.
Maharaji, the question is about transplantation of organs in human beings.
Pardon?
Of transplantation of organs in human beings in medical centers, like kidney or heart or liver, how it affects the karma of the donor and of the recipient and also of the medical
Well, if it is in the karma of the donor, he will give it. If it is the karma of the patient, he will have it. If it is in the karma of both of them, it will be successful. If it is not in their karma, it will fail.
Thank you.
Maharaji, I was wondering if perhaps you could talk to us a minute on the value of seva. I feel it's something that we in the West totally underestimate and don't really understand.
Sister, real seva is attending to your meditation. All other type of seva is a means to achieve that end. You want to be humble, you want to clean your vessel, you want to create humility within yourself, you want to be useful, you want to have a very compassionate heart, loving heart, cooperative heart. so that you may invoke the grace of the Lord in your meditation. These are all means to achieve the end. The real seva is attending to your meditation. Without love, we never do anything for anybody. We always want our wages, reward. But this seva is done out of love, to please another person. Seva is not showing your superiority over another person. Seva doesn't give you any authority over another person. Seva is an example of humility before other person. Because you want to please the other person. That is real seva. It may be of any kind, maybe by the body, maybe by the money. And seva by the mind is to be steadfast on the principles of Santmat. And to withdraw it by Simran and Dhyan to the eye center. That is the seva by the mind. And real seva is to attach it to the Shabd and Naam within. That's the real seva. Money, which is pulling us toward the senses, is attachment always pulling us back to this creation. It creates ego in our mind. So if we use it in His creation, for the help of His creation, who has given us, we give to His people who needs it more. So it creates a humility in us. We try to share with them who are more in need than us. We try to please the Lord and make best use of our money.
Master, if a soul has made enough progress to find a place in the inner regions, is the pain of separation more intense for the soul inside because it's closer to what it wants to become?
Pain of separation, sister, inside is less than in the human body. Because there is not much misery there.
Mm-hmm. But being so close, doesn't the soul want to get...
No. You see, here we feel more pain of separation because we are miserable here. This also, we want to escape from this misery. So we feel more necessity to go back to Father, just to overcome our misery, overcome our problems, get rid of those problems.
Right.
That is also a base of our separation, feeling separation from the Father. But there is no misery. So progress is very low, slow.
And since there's no time inside, the soul doesn't feel the slowness of the progress?
No.
Or is there another sense of time that the soul feels?
That is for the master, to take the soul whenever the master thinks it has cleared.
Right. Okay, thank you, Master.
Master, I don't have a question. I have a prayer I want to say. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, please.
Okay. My beloved Lord and Master, I am ignorant. I do not know what to ask from you. Give me that which you think best for me, and give me the strength and the wisdom to be happy about what you deem fit to give me, and where and how you keep me. I have no virtue, no devotion. My actions are all dark and sinful.
I possess no merits, and the mind has thoroughly crushed me. For a sinner like myself, O Lord, there is no refuge but thy blessed feet. Take me under your shelter. I want nothing more. Make me your slave so that I may become yours and you may become mine.
Sister, I appreciate all what you say, but to the addressing to the Lord, no set words are required. You don't need any language, you don't need any words. All what you need is tuning your mind towards the Father. All what you need is your tears in His separation. He hears us much better than uttering our words. He knows what we want, He knows what we feel. He doesn't need any words to be expressed by us. Prayer should be by heart, not by words.
I mean it from my heart, but this is the level I'm at right now.
That's what I say. At this level, I'm talking about the prayer of this level. Prayer should be, there should be nothing between you and the Lord in praying. Not even the words, not even the language. Just you exist and He and the Lord exist. That's the real prayer. Even the words don't exist, even the language doesn't exist.
That's in your hands, man.
That is real prayer. Because He knows even without asking what we are praying for. We don't have to shout to Him. We don't have to repeat to Him what we are. He knows it. I don't have to tell Him how ignorant I am. He knows how ignorant I am. I don't have to tell Him that I am worthless creature. He knows I am.
It's very difficult for me to believe that I am ignorant, because in my heart I know the Lord loves me so much, and I just can't understand why it just seems like I have so much work to do on myself in order to get there, to be with the Lord. I have an issue with having to do something to get somewhere when the Lord loves me so much.
Sister, no work is required to go back to Him. All what is required is His intense pull from within. Intense love and devotion for Him. This meditation is nothing but to create that intense love and devotion within us. What is our meditation? It's not set words to be repeated. It is to create that desire of intense love and devotion within us. To create the attitude of the mind towards the Father. To train our mind that we withdraw it from the world and focus it towards the Father. That is the object of meditation.
Thank you. I am having...
Ultimately, relationship of the soul and the Father is that of love, that of devotion.
May I just hear that one
Please.
more time?
Yes.
That last sentence.
A relationship of the soul and the Father is that of love. That is why Christ said, God is love. Characteristic of love is to become one with the other being, to lose your own identity, to become another being, to merge into another being. You don't exist anymore. Only the beloved only exists. That is love.
Am I in it?
Hmm?
Am I in it now? Am I in that love now?
You know better. Everybody knows about oneself. There's no scale by which we can weigh or which anybody can know about ourselves. We know and he knows.
Yes, I have a question.
Please.
I think for some time I have been looking for a teacher to help me connect with the love, the God, the soul in me. And I'm aware of the enormous resistance I have to this. And the resistance sounds like the mind to me, is the fear that I will be giving up something and being seen by people I know, people I respect, as weak, as dependent. And I would ask if you have some suggestions on dealing with this that I see as a problem.
What is the problem, brother? I couldn't know your problem.
The problem as I see it is in that in getting closer through association with someone else, for yourself, for example, I fear that in that kind of relationship there is weakness, there is dependency, and I pull back from that.
Well, you have your own struggle to fight with yourself.
Yes, I do. Could you flesh that out a little?
Well, you are trying to be very close about it.
I didn't hear that.
You are trying to be very close about your question. You don't want to openly say your question. You don't want to discuss your question openly. You have to fight your own problem with yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Master, I'm afraid to go in. And is that because of my karma, or is it because I don't have enough love and trust?
Then, sister, meditation builds love and trust. It will eliminate your all fear.
Thank you.
Maharaji, I've been trying for all these years since you kindly initiated me to hold my attention still, and it's kind of like trying to catch a slippery bar of soap in the shower. And maybe another 18 years I'll still be trying to catch the slippery bar of soap. What can I do?
Only Simran and Dhyan. You see, it's a constant struggle with the mind. Mind is in the habit of running outside since ages, since years. It takes time for it to withdraw back to the eye center. We have to be regular and punctual to put a strong fight with it. Then it gets tamed.
And in the meantime, the doubts are there. Do I just persevere and ignore them?
No, satisfy those doubts. Doubts will not let you make any progress at all.
Oh, I went down to the store and got some dictionaries because you mentioned the word conviction. And I wanted to see what they said about conviction.
I don't know the Oxford meaning, but you know what I mean.
Well, it's the way I have it, I see things, Maharaji. It's like on this side there is believing and doubting and hoping and flip-flop all the time. And then there's something in the middle, which I call experience, apparently. And then there's something on that side, which I call faith or conviction or certainty or knowing.
I'll give you a small little example. If you want to drive from Delhi to Bias by road, the first thing you will do, you will take a map. You'll try to find out the road on the map. And you may like to consult one or two people to enlighten you that if this is the road, this is the highway which will take me back to Bias. And then you will try to little drive on the road. You will see all the signs, milestones, so many other signs mentioned on the map. And then you get convinced this road does lead to Bias. Then you are not bothered to ask anybody, then you drive on and on and on. Because you have satisfied your intellect by so many confirmations, by little driving and seeing certain signs, and now you are convinced, and now you are driving. This all happens in meditation.
I pray to the Father to help me get in the car.
He knows best, and he's always anxious to give us that car.
Thank you, Maharaji.
Maharaji, I just want to thank you for the darshan that I've had. And we all treasure that very much. And life without darshan is very dark indeed. So I hope you keep bringing me back. And we just want to be with you forever. I want to ask you that if you can't see us tomorrow, if you will allow us to see you through your roll-down window along the path going out.
For that, I can't help it even.
Just a little darshan more.
That I can't help it even.
We've come from so far.
I will see what can be done, don't worry. I'll see.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Because my problem is this hall will be full with the initiates. And this is the only place where I can hold you and come and see you. And there is no other place, as you know. But I'll see what I can do. I'll discuss with the management. I'm receiving many letters very lately that somehow got the impression that I'm not keeping well. So you have seen me keeping perfectly good health. And you can assure them I'm perfectly all right. Absolutely safe. There's no problem with me at all of any kind. And those who couldn't come, they are as dear and near to me as all of you sitting here. And you can give them my regards and love. Everyone is very dear and near to me. I have nothing to conceal about my program. I am tomorrow leaving for Bias by air. And I will appreciate and nobody follows me to the airport. But I'll see if we can arrange, if it can be arranged that I see you for a few seconds, few minutes. Because I have hardly any time to just rush and catch the plane. That is why I have kept initiation a little earlier. Because I didn't want to leave unfinished initiation. Actually, I was to go to Sarsa, but the roads are not motorable. There's water, floods everywhere. So I decided that I should go back to Bias State. If still it's not clear, you are most welcome to ask anything.
Maharaji, please. We know that Master's grace is always flowing, but here in Master's presence, it seems to be overflowing. Thank you.
Sister, this is the heart which overflows. Your heart is overflowing. But
yes.
I think if it remains within, if it's channelized, love is channelized, it's better, then it overflows.
I don't understand.
If there's a flood in the river, you know what devastation it creates. This time there was floods in all rivers in Punjab, and you know what devastation it has created. You know,
yes.
If it flows within the banks, it's very useful.
Yes.
Similarly about love,
yes.
It should remain within the banks and not overflow. It should be digested within yourself.
Maharaji, my question has to do with the plight of a disciple or disciples who are dull. When I was in undergraduate school, in my last semester, I had to take a math course, and in the final test, I failed it conclusively, but my professor passed me anyway. And when I asked the professor why, she told me that she had checked and I had been to a tutor several times, and that I always sat in the front and that I attended, and it was her prerogative whether she passed or failed me, and she felt that since I tried, that she should pass me. But as a disciple, I feel very much like the math student in that I feel very dull. Not even that things go through one ear and come out the other, but it's like my head is like a brick and it never goes through at all, just bounces.
So you want to pass the same way?
No, no, I guess what I'm asking is, if you feel dull like that, like you're not making that much progress, and that things don't come to you so easily, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I don't want to give up and I want to fight, but you see people around you and other people have so much more enthusiasm and they seem to do kind of well.
You must have seen sometime in the schools when the students are very regular, some students are very regular, very punctual and very well behaved, and there is nothing to his discredit. He may even fail in the class, master always passes him. They're so impressed by his other qualities, he doesn't want to see that he should fail. So at least we should be that much to our credit.
Thank you.
Master, I'm trying to understand something a little further. You said to me the other night that everything's based on the pull of the Master in meditation.
Everything?
Everything is based from the pull of the Master in
Pull
meditation.
of the Father.
Pull of the Father in meditation. Does it take, when we aren't able to meditate as much, or we don't feel the pull as strong, is it our karmas that are blocking it, or is the Lord withholding that grace until certain karmas are over?
Well, brother, we cannot analyze anything at all. If you start analyzing, today I'm not sitting, I'm feeling the pull, I want to sit in meditation, karma has come in my way. You will never sit in meditation. We have no business to analyze these things at all. If His grace has not been there will not have been any marking at all. His grace is there that He has marked us. His grace is there that we have been brought on the path, that we are on the path. Now we have to do our job. We have to do our duty. We cannot analyze these things that I have to wait for my pull today to sit in meditation.
I'm not trying to get out of the meditation, but the feeling of the pull, is it always the same, whether no matter how heavy the karma? Is the pull always there and always the same?
You don't have the pull always the same. The pull sometimes is less, sometimes is more. But we have to train our mind that we have to sit in meditation every day, irrespective of the pull or not. Sometimes willingly, sometimes unwillingly. We have to sit in meditation. Soldier every day has to go out for parade in the morning. Sometimes he is very happy to do the parade, sometimes doesn't want to do the parade, but he has to do the parade. As part of the discipline he has to go through. So everything we don't have to do happily. Sometimes we are trained to do it by forcing. We have to force our mind that it has to sit in meditation. We have to fight with our mind.
The fight I'm aware of at this level, but I'm really scared when I look at where I'm at today and how long it's taken me even to get here in 15, 16 years. I don't have a chance by the time I die to go to the eye center, or make that graduation. And you said the other day that if our mind was always in one direction, that even after we die, where else it would go?
Naturally. If the tendency, as I said, meditation means that we are training our mind to go inward and upward. We are creating the tendency in the mind to go inward and upward. Withdrawing it from outside and bringing it back to the eye center and create a tendency in the mind inward and upward. That is the purpose of meditation.
What part does actually having the result? I know you say we shouldn't expect results, but at what stage, what part does the results play?
Results do come and go.
They do come and go.
Many times you may not even see anything, but you feel so happy, so contented, so much at peace within yourself. You feel the effect of meditation within yourself. You feel so detached from everything. You start feeling its effect within yourself.
And that is enough at the time of death to take us up?
That is more than enough. Because your tendency is not towards the creation now.
I have one other, a little bit different angle question. You said that the mind is a separate entity and that the soul has not wanting to do anything with this creation. It doesn't remember anything of this past.
No, soul remember everything of the past. I don't say it doesn't remember anything of the past. Soul remember each and everything of the past experiences. Mind doesn't remember anything of the past experiences.
So at this stage, it's all mind. I keep hearing like it's all mind, so I'm thinking there's no part of me or reality, that it doesn't really exist.
Actually, I said soul's tendency is towards the Father. Soul's tendency is not towards the creation. Soul is not interested in anything in the creation. Soul is always yearning back to go back to the Father.
So the mind has its own power that's actually drawing the soul down?
Yes. Mind is pulling the soul down to the creation.
So as I walk through this world and live from day to day, that's mind?
That is mind. 100% mind.
So I have absolutely no awareness of who I am?
And soul is part of the mind. Because soul has taken association of the mind. Not that soul is somewhere else, soul is along with the mind. Soul can't escape from the clutches of the mind. Soul is being dominated by the mind. Soul is helpless before the mind. Soul also has to take the part of the mind. Not that soul is interested in this part, but she has no option.
Is it mind or soul that is the willpower, the will to sit or the will to do anything to?
Mind.
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 So there's actually no action in this world from the soul?
No. No.
So there's, from that point of view, there's no reality of ourselves here. There's no experience of ourselves here.
Mind, all this experience is through the mind. Without the mind, nobody can exist in this creation.
Is there a part or a feeling, be it love or devotion or willpower or urge?
Everything is in the mind.
Everything.
Everything is in the mind. Because soul is only yearning to go back to its own destination.
So even the love is the mind.
So mind takes all the powers from the soul, all the devotion from the soul, and then pulls the soul downward. Mind takes the power from the soul.
So the I, if I say I want to meditate or I want to go home, or it's not me. I'm not even aware of me. It's just the mind.
It's the mind. It's the mind. Because soul is part of the mind. So you can say also part of soul is saying, because soul is not separated from the mind. When soul is separated from the mind, then when you say I, that means the soul. Now when you say I, it is 99% is mind.
And yet when you say the soul is only yearning to go home and yet it's absolutely helpless in this.
Absolutely helpless.
So the mind actually is stronger than the soul.
At this stage. Till Turkuti. When she goes beyond the realm of mind and Maya, then soul dominates the mind. Then soul is stronger than the mind. When mind becomes the slave, soul becomes the master. Now mind is the master, soul is the slave.
So the mind which hates sometimes to sit in meditation is forcing itself to sit in meditation.
It's mind.
And the mind that feels the yearning or the love,
that is also mind.
Also the mind.
Emotions.
Emotions.
Everything comes in mind. Mind is also not happy in this creation, you see. Mind is also gets frustrated from these sensual pleasures. It also becomes miserable after some time in the sensual pleasures. It also wants better peace, better happiness. So mind also gets peace when it goes back to its own source. That is why all these pleasures are short-lived. They are not permanent.
And So when you say that the grace of the Master is atmosphere, locate, no distractions, environment, things like that, but the yearning to go home, that's coming from the Lord.
Yes. It is all for the mind. The satsang, the meeting, the books, the discussions, the convictions, all for the mind.
And so when you talk about limited free will, if it's all the mind, there really isn't any.
I say soul and mind are not together. When we talk about the mind, soul is there with the mind. But soul is just, mind is dominating the soul. Soul is helpless with the mind.
When you say mind is dominating the soul, is that anything to do with the weight of the karmas on it?
Naturally, mind means combination of karmas. Pure mind means clearing all the karmas. Noble mind, higher mind, friendly mind means karmas are cleared. Mind has become noble. Mind has become pure. Otherwise, all karmic effects are there on the mind. Karmic load is there on the mind.
In this meditation that we're asked to do, although our action isn't really clearing it, but by the act of it, there's an actual erasing of this karma.
What do you mean erasing this karma?
Well, you talk about the karma's covering, or the weight of the, it's like the stone on the needle.
That's right.
So there must, in one lifetime we can't be clearing all these accounts. No. So there must be something that's actually erasing the karmas.
No, you can't clear in one lifetime. Nobody says you can clear in one lifetime. Swamiji says not more than 4 lives. Every soul which has come of the path ultimately has to go back to the Father. He says, but maximum the soul will come to this human body for 4 times.
But even in those 4 times, is there an erasing of karma? I mean, if we've been here millions of lives, it would be quite impossible to clear it even in 4 lives.
He knows best how to clear it.
So that's being erased either by the Lord.
It's all grace. That's what I said yesterday. Guru Nanak said, if you look to our karmas, there is no end to it. If you go on scratching the earth in order to reach the water, in million years you can't reach. That is just the position of our karmas. If you go on thinking about our karmas, you want us to clear our karmas, they are just like that. All what we need is grace, your forgiveness.
We may not be able to clear all the karmas in one life, but you said that if we're starting to turn inward and upward, that's where we would go at death. My question is, so I wouldn't have to come back.
That won't bring you back.
That won't bring me back. But it may not erase all the karmas.
Yes. It is our attachment which brings us back. Attachment to the creation. You see, even if you have no progress within, if you are not attached to anything in this creation, nobody can bring you back to this creation. If, on the other hand, you have progress, certain progress to your credit within, but you are attached to something, in this creation you may have to come back to clear that attachment.
Are we going to be happy in an inner mansion when we're still not home?
Christ gave very beautiful examples. He says, if you love your father and mother, mother-in-law or sister-in-law more than me, you are not worthy of me. Worthy of me means you are not worthy to become me, part of me. And unless you become part of me, you cannot become part of Father. Meaning if you are not attached to me, you cannot be attached to Father. If you are attached to them more than me, you cannot become me and you cannot become God. Same thing.
So our best action in this life would be to do everything we can to become attached to the Master.
You can't do by mathematically or by thinking, no. You have to take a positive step to attend to your meditation. It automatically detaches you from everything.
Automatically.
Automatically. When you are attached to something, you are automatically detached from the other things. If you want to detach from each and every friend of yours, each and every relation of yours, you can never succeed. If you fall in love with some girl, you will forget everybody. That is the nature of the human mind. So attachment can create detachment in us. Detachment doesn't create any attachment in anybody. That is the difference between Santmat and Vedanta. They try to run away from the world. Leave the wife, leave the children, leave the business, leave the house, run to the jungle, hide yourself, don't face them. They build a lot of suppression in them. And sometimes they become hopeless than even hopeless than even normal human beings. Santmat is very different. He says attached to Naam, automatically you'll get detached.
This is the part that keeps coming back to, as you say, attached to Nam. You have to get to the eye center before you can attach to Nam.
Yes. All what we are doing meditation every day, we are attaching to Nam. We are trying to, tendency is for the mind to come upward towards the Nam.
But and you may still not be actually attached to it if you're still struggling just to reach the eye center.
Certain phases one has to go through. You can't start running second day after the birth.